Hey Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you this layout that I created using bits and pieces from my stash and this particular digital cut file that I created. A few videos back I used that same digital cut file for something in my December daily, and now I am going to use that same cut file on a layout. I had originally made it for the December daily, but the first time I tried it out using this particular paper, it was way too big for my December daily, but I thought it looked really cool as a layout. So I converted this picture of my daughter last year on December 25th, opening a present that she really, really loved. And I wanted to fit the picture in behind the wreath part of the O for Noel. And so I had actually created a matching file that I could put through my silhouette. And cut out this circle that fit perfectly behind the back of the cut file, but I had a hard time lining up the picture with the cut file, and so I decided that it was just easier to do what I did and mark out the inside of the wreath and then put the picture down inside the wreath and just fussy cutting the picture. It was just the easiest way to do it. Sometimes we have technology, and technology is great, but when it creates more work, no, we're just going to go ahead and do it the easy way. So I put some Scotch quick dry adhesive, and now I am using some gold thread to just add a little bit more dimension to the wreath. I love the wreath, and it has a lot of movement and adds movement to the O, but I just thought that the gold thread added a little extra shine to the layout. And I just did that on a piece of scrap paper in order to not get glue all over and make a sticky mess. So I had not done a great job there of trimming out the photo, so I just used my scissors to trim a little bit more. This red ribbon is actually from it's from a tag that I saved from an article of clothing or something. I can't exactly remember what. I'm kind of like a crow in that I save all these little bits and pieces, and I sometimes forget where they come from, but I stash away these things that I know someday I'm going to use on a scrapbook layout that would be really cool. And so I thought that that ribbon would be a really cool way to hang the wreath from the top of the layout there. And the letters of this digital cut file are just various different fonts, free downloads that I had, and I just chose 3 different fonts with different sort of weights to them, and then I just staggered them to create a square, and I sort of offset the square to the left and sort of lower side of the layout. And the diagonal on the pattern paper from Pink Fresh that I'm using, sort of, it had enough in the background that it, with the digital cut file and the picture in the middle, you really didn't need a whole lot more. Now I wanted a little bit more gold thread. You couldn't see what I put in there, so I just used double-sided tape from Xyron, and I'm just going to sort of loop around the thread. It wastes a lot of thread, but as you can see, I've got a giant spool of that gold thread there. So I'm just sort of looping around the gold to give, to make it more noticeable, because you couldn't see a lot of what I had already put on there. And I'm sort of sticking it down in the middle to help hold it and place it where I want that thread to be. I'm going to keep looping for a little while, and you'll see in the close-ups it's hard. It's a very fine thread, how fun that looks. Now the ribbon there, I need to adhere it down to the page somehow. I had initially toyed with the idea of using a staple to adhere it down, but the thing with the staple is that you don't staple ribbon, you don't staple things that are hanging, and the staples in my tiny attacher are silver, and I've got gold in there, so I just decided to use the Scotch Quick Dry there. The problem with the Scotch Quick Dry is that it seeps through the ribbon, and so I am sticking to the ribbon, and every time I lift my finger, I'm also pulling that ribbon away with me. But I get it to work eventually. So that is actually the bulk of the layout. The red pattern paper is actually some old basic gray, going back to that basic gray again, and that's from the Juniper Berry collection from 2015. The pink fresh is the background, and then the rest of the ephemera and the die cuts that I'm going to use are also from that same Pink Fresh collection. I really wanted to use that squirrel there, but he's way too dark. He's the wrong sort of hue of that tealy aqua that I used. And I love these packages. Or presents. So I'm just kind of going through the die cuts to see what I like. That tree, so the wreath for the O is cut from the same sort of matte finish gold that I used in my December daily. And it looks yellow, but it's a gold, and it matches really nicely with that tree that is actually sort of just an unfinished wood. But it's a die cut, not a wood. Those deer, I absolutely loved him, and he looks perfect there, but he's the wrong way. Same thing with that little one with the bow. I probably could have gotten away with that by the E and moved the tree elsewhere, but I ended up going with something else. So I have that little dove there with the branch up by the, pardon my child that just poked his way into the camera. He didn't realize I was recording. I love that dove up there by the wreath. And so I've stuck with the packages and the tree. The deer isn't going to work because it's going the wrong way. And I didn't want it by the tree and didn't think to move the tree, to be honest. So now I've built that header up the top there with the label and the saying that says it's the most wonderful time of the year. But I want something to sort of nestle that and also to give almost like a ceiling that wreath is hanging from. So I cut that blue strip, and that is from Fancy Pants from Winter Season, which is from 2015. And I feel like the weight of the packages up the top by the wreath is too much, and so I want to move them, and that L seems sort of naked and needs something down there. So I'm sort of rearranging what I've got to find a pleasing embellishment collection there. And I do like the tree on the L, but the problem with the tree on the L is that then I have the weight of all that gold in the center of the page, and so by keeping the tree by the E, I am able to sort of move your eye in that opposite diagonal from the diagonal of the pattern paper. So another little red strip there to just sort of add to the ceiling / header of my layout, and that is also from the same Fancy Pants Warm Season collection. So I have these puffy stickers from the Pink Fresh collection, and I want to incorporate those as well. That L needs something. And so I found the house, and I thought maybe that would work there. But again, it blocks the L, and it makes it difficult to tell that the L is what it is. So I have the tree, and I'm going to put that puffy sticker tree next to the wood tree there. And that looks good, and I like the way that the black of the tree sort of ties into the black in the photo. And I swapped out the die cut package for the puffy package there, and also has a hint of black in that as well. And then there's the stars from the puffy stickers, and I just used those again for a little bit of dimension to add to the stars in the background that are printed in the background. What you don't see that I did off camera was I had some red puffy stickers they're actually from the Target Dollar Spot. I added a few of those in with the other puffy sticky sticker star collections. I also had a really fine black outline star, and I stamped a few of those, and you'll see those in the close-ups that I didn't do on camera. I'm sorry. So I was able to find something to fill that space in the L and sort of close that off and keep the bulk of the layout at the header / ceiling and in that little square that I've formed with the Noel digital cut file. So the digital cut file I will put for download for you. If you just go to the link down below in the comments section. You will find a link to my Dropbox, and you can download it from there. If you use the file, please do give credit where credit is due. And now I'm just sort of finishing off the layout and making sure that everything is adhered to the page. So cut file included. Any comments are greatly appreciated. If you don't subscribe and you do download the cut file, I would appreciate if you do subscribe. I do have other cut files coming up for free download. I tried putting a couple of other things on, but it was too much. And then I do put the year 2016 in black sticker letters again to tie in the black. Close-ups to follow. Thanks for stopping in today. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.